Hello, Xavier Musketeers. Today is April 16, 2021. I'm Amari Miller.
And I'm Brooke Kennebrew. Welcome to Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
Freshman LSU student Corey Gaucher's body was recovered in the Mississippi River on Tuesday, April 13, 2021. She was last seen on April 6th. Investigators said there was no criminal activity or foul play involved. Her vehicle was found on the Horace Wilkinson Bridge by Baton Rouge police shortly after midnight on April 7th. More than 300 volunteers went to search for her, and LSU students held a vigil in her honor. Our LSU community is devastated to learn of the loss of Corey Gaucher, said interim LSU President Tom Galligan. Our thoughts are with her parents, her family, and all who knew her during this very difficult time. We offer our deepest condolences to her family and friends. The cause of death has not yet been realized.
Last week, Buckingham Palace announced the death of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh and husband of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. Philip is the longest-serving royal consort in British history and the longest-living male member of the British family ever. Philip was the only 2 months away from his 100th birthday when he passed away April 9th. His cause of death has not been disclosed, though it was reported that he died peacefully. His funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow at St. George Chapel in Windsor Castle. The service is not open to the public due to COVID-19 restrictions, and only close family and friends will attend. Notably, Prince Harry will be returning to England for the funeral following his controversial interview with Oprah on his criticism of the British royal family. He will not stand next to his brother, Prince William, during the procession. Instead of having their cousin Peter Phillips stand between them, Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, will not be in attendance.
Due to the pandemic, we've had to change and adapt to our new COVID-friendly environment. Last year's graduating class had no form of ceremony on graduation day, and fortunately this year will be different. In early February, the commencement committee announced that the graduation ceremony will be held in person and that there will be 4 separate ceremonies for each college. However, since COVID cases have been on a downward trend, the CDC COVID guidelines have changed. The Centhouse Center can now hold around 2,500 people rather than 900. This may change the number of guests allowed. Also, the committee has added a virtual baccalaureate mass event. For more information, visit the Xavier Commencement website.
Now let's take a look at life on campus.
Here's student reporter Trevor Ray with the report.
What was the film?
I'm the live entertainment co-chair, so I work on live performances, anything that incorporates, music, comedian, hypnotist, anything like that I work on to provide for students.
My name is Tristan. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm a finance major and I'm a senior.
My name is Robbie Derzanowski. I'm a first-year communication studies student from just outside Chicago.
So this is Pop Culture Clash. We brought in Keith over here from Pennsylvania, who's kind of facilitating it, but students are playing pop culture trivia on their phones. We have 4 rounds, so our first round we gave away a free year of Spotify Premium. That's also what we gave away the second round. And then the third round we gave away $200 towards a Ticketmaster gift card, which is awesome because not a lot of events are going on right now, so when they start up, the winner gets to pick the concert they go to. And then the last round being played right now, which is 2000s music, we're giving away $200 cash. So we also gave away free Popeyes. So.
They had a big trivia game with some food. It was a good time. They did 2020 trivia, 2000s pop trivia, general trivia. So
It's put on by the Student Activities Council. They typically put on a bunch of different activities and stuff for the students on the weekends and weeknights and days.
Yeah.
Couple SAC groupies who love to come to all events, but we try to have events that pertain to different groups. Today's a beautiful day, so whoever was walking across, people who live on campus mainly, just because they do happen on campus. We try to attract freshmen mainly to get them to meet new people. SAC events are a great place to meet people who have the same interests as you or different interests. So
yeah, I won the first round. I won general trivia. And then I got 8th, 2nd, and 3rd. So I won the one that was worth the least amount of money.
So we've got Xavier Fest coming up, which is our biggest event of the year. That's a whole board event that is happening April 24th on the yard. We have 2 stages, 12 performers. Very exciting to kind of kickstart finals week and send us out with a bang. So look out for that.
Thanks, Trevor. Councilman Wendell Young was indicted yesterday by a Hamilton grand jury on a felony charge of tampering with records. Special Prosecutor Patrick J. Hanley said in a news release that, quote, at some point between January 3rd, 2018 and October 16, 2018, Young knowingly and with purpose to defraud, destroy text messages that belong to a government entity, end quote. Councilman Young could face up to 3 years in prison if convicted. Scott Crosswell, the lawyer of Young, said that, quote, I reviewed the indictment and we intend to defend it vigorously, end quote. This is the 4th in the past year that an elected official has been charged with a crime connected to their elected office.
Last week, police were alerted regarding monkeys loose in the city of Cincinnati. An anonymous 911 call claimed to have seen 5 monkeys in West Price Hill near West 8th Street. Grainy videos on Twitter began circulating around the time of what appeared to be monkeys swinging in the trees of Cincinnati. The Cincinnati Zoo stated that they were not missing any monkeys. Police have since then halted their investigation as no new reports of monkeys have surfaced since the initial call. Local businesses had fun by addressing the rumors on their signs, warning customers about the monkeys or inviting the primates into their business. If you or anyone you know has had an encounter with a loose monkey in the past week, please contact the Cincinnati Police Department. Let's switch topics to McDermott, a student here at Xavier.
Here is Birdie Zhang with the story.
I take most of my inspiration from real life, either from my own experiences or from the people around me. So for my longest piece, so Spades, play I wrote this past year, that has all been taken out of the context of my life and interactions I've had with past relationships as well as my own mother. One of my stories is After the Storm. I wrote that one after I went to dinner with my now ex, and it was based off of this really lively waiter we had, but since my writing style is pretty dark, I added the tension from being stuck at home and, cabin fever and wanting to wring your SO's neck after only seeing them. So that one's about really how important it is to have contact with people outside your circles. The longest thing I've ever written would be Spades. It started off being about 46 pages, if I remember, but I submitted it to a festival, and so because of the time limit, it's currently sitting at about 30 pages. I think I would like to see some of my stories on the screen. A lot of them work better on paper, but a few of them, like Spades, would work really well and better on screen rather than it would be on stage. I have yet to get any of my pieces produced, but not from lack of trying. As I've said, I've worked on Spades for the past year and I've submitted it to multiple festivals, and I've gotten recognition for them, but not any production or anything, but just mostly edits and reason to go back and make it better. I think the biggest takeaway I have from writing is, even if you just have a small idea, just roll with it. Spades started off as one scene, as a conflict I had with a girl I dated when I was 15, and exploded into this huge piece that has become such a passion project for me. So even if it's just an inkling, roll with it, because it's gonna become something so incredibly important in your own life, and you can do so much with it. Just you have to give it the time to think about.
The CDC and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration recommended that the United States pause the use for the Johnson & Johnson vaccine on Tuesday after 6 reported cases of a rare, hard-to-treat form of blood clots among people who had recently been vaccinated. Vaccine advisors to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention made a decision on Wednesday about the recommendations for Johnson & Johnson coronavirus vaccine, saying they need more information about a rare type of blood clots. Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of Centers for Disease and Control Prevention, had previously stated that her department had not received any information of any blood clot linked to the vaccine. Quote, "Right now, we believe these events to be extremely rare, but we are also not yet certain we have heard about all possible cases, as this syndrome may not be easily recognized as one associated with the vaccine," end quote. Although people should not be aware of possible signs, she claims that the vaccine surveillance system is working. She stated, quote, "The CDC and FDA work together to recognize these unusual incidents and warn healthcare providers and the general public," end quote. This shows that safety systems in place are functioning properly. People should be aware of the following symptoms after receiving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Sadly, this semester is coming to an end. Xavier students that are living on campus, make sure to sign up for a checkout appointment on housing self-service by Friday, April 23rd. Any student wishing to stay past May 7th at 6 p.m. for any reason must submit the extending stay request housing self-service by Wednesday, April 21st. By Friday, May 7th, students in the one-day book program must return their books and course materials to the bookstore in Gallagher. You are strongly advised to ask for a receipt from the bookstore upon returning your items. Now that's all from the news desk.
We will be right back with the Xavier Sports Report.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kurt Berry, and it's time for another update in Xavier Sports. Where do we start? Xavier basketball had a rough end of the season, but they had a strong start to the offseason. Welcome back Xavier legend Paul Scruggs and Nate Johnson, who is committed to returning for the 21-22 season. Scruggs averaged 14 points per game last season, along with 84% from the strike, which came in clutch in late games. Nate Johnson had a high 45% from beyond the arc last season, and helped out Xavier with an 80% free throw average, which ranks 4th behind Scruggs, Adam Kunkel, and Kiki Tandy. Speaking of Kiki, welcome back, bro! A sophomore who's urgent to enter the transfer pool decided to stay with Travis Steele and the gang to get redemption for what was a rather disappointing end to a hopeful season. Let's take a swing at baseball now. As we cover the up and down Musketeers with a record of 11-14, their bats have been lost on some days, and others not so much. Xavier took on a doubleheader against Dayton on the 2nd and 3rd of April this month. Their 2 wins came out to be 24-16 and 14-11. Andrew Walker, with an average of .389 this season, had 5 hits, 5 ribbies, and 2 doubles. He backed it up with 2 hits that night in a doubleheader against Dayton. Senior infielder Ryan Altenberger is on fire this season, with a batting average of .412, paired along with 13 ribbies and 3 home runs. He ties the home run total this season with Jack Husinger and Luke Franzoni. Xavier is 2-2 at home, and has a record of 9-12 away. Bring your buckets, hats, and suntan lotion because the Musketeers have 8 straight home games, starting today against Butler at 3 p.m. That's right, you better get over to the field, Musketeers. Moving on to golf. Let's celebrate the incredible talent by the Musketeers product, Xavier alumni Jason Kokrak, who worked hard in the past few years to earn the invite to the most respected course in the world. Kokrak played in Augusta and placed 49th at the Masters, an event highlighted by 3-time Masters champion Phil Mickelson, previous winner Dustin Johnson, and current champion Hideki Matsuyama. Kokrak made the cut, something that Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, and Royal McIlroy could not do. The Xavier community is extremely proud of Jason. Wish him the best in future major tournaments. That's all from the Xavier Sports Report. Enjoy the weekend, and as always, let's go X.